over the weekend, this video went viral. Take a look right here. It shows police handcuffing a woman who was selling churros in the subway station. The video left many wondering, what is the right thing to do? What will become of her property? Over 3 million views, in fact. We're talking with Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams this morning about it, because you saw this video, Borough President, and you were upset about it. You were very vocal about the fact that maybe the officers went a little too far in this situation, but she did break the law here.
Yes, and we need to be clear on that. You can't allow people just to do whatever they want in the subway system. So it's not what the officers did, how they did it.
Optics.
Right, exactly. If you had to confiscate her goods after you told her several times she could not sell there, those officers did the right thing, because you can't have everyone in the subway system. That's a very dangerous place. But when you handcuff a person because they were doing a minor infraction, that is what causes things to escalate. That is where they went wrong. There was no reason to handcuff her. She was under arrest. If you're in custody, you're not free to leave, and you are restrained. That's the definition of being under arrest.
So the NYPD did get back to us. They released a statement. I want to throw it up on the screen and get your reaction to it. So take a look. It says that officers observed an unlicensed vendor at the Broadway Junction subway station. She was instructed in English and Spanish that she would be issued a summons and her property taken as evidence in accordance with procedure. She refused to cooperate and was briefly handcuffed. Officers escorted her into the command, where she was uncuffed. Her property was vouchered as arrest evidence, and she was released within 3 minutes. As a former transit officer yourself, what would you have done then if you're saying don't place her in handcuffs?
We saw the video. We didn't see anyone that was being violent. We didn't see anyone that was even passively resisting. She was talking, fine. Another officer called there. I'm on the radio calling for a Spanish-speaking officer to communicate with her, preferably a female, a woman officer. Then I'm going to confiscate those items. I'm going to voucher them, and she will have to come and go through the court procedure. But also, why is the city, they have not increased the permits since 1983. 4,000 cap. There's no reason for it still to be a cap. But even with the cap release, we cannot have a subway system where every platform is clogged with people selling items.
You're referencing what the city health department caps at. So they allow permits for food vendors, 4,000 to 5,000. Hasn't changed since 1983. Looking at this, is it time to change the laws, increase the cap, or change what's legal to do in the subway station? What do you see as the future here so this does not happen again?
Not changing what needs to be done in the subway station. We have to really control. We're dealing with millions of people using that system. We have to control that system. People need to be educated on what they could do, how they can do it. I think the rules are right, but we need to increase the caps. But we have to be very clear. The city can't be disorderly. You can't just say everyone could do whatever they want to do, but it's how we enforce the laws. We should not be heavy-handed in every circumstance.
Increase the cap, give 2,000 more permits per year.
Without a doubt. But they cannot be on streets where people have shops and stores. You know, we need to do it in a very organized manner. This city must perform in an orderly function. That's important.
You've been talking to youth, really, about ways to deal with police officers. You were big last week after that incident came forward with the melee in the subways. Do you think it's time to have a conversation with more than just the youth?
Yes. Think about it. If someone knocks at your door and say, a police officer knocks at your door and say, I want to inspect your apartment, you don't know what to do if you should or shouldn't. We've never engaged conversations with adults and children on how to interact with a very serious encounter, and that's a symbol of law enforcement in our country, in our city, and that's our police officers.
All right, we're going to be looking to you to lead that charge. Okay, thank you for coming in, as always, to comment on this.